Kati Driscoll is a Delaware and digital native who has been a social media participant for the past 10 years and a social media professional for the latter 5. A certified usability analyst, she is part of the social media department at AAA Mid-Atlantic. Additionally, she serves as a consultant to local and national retail and nonprofit businesses. When she isn't busy staring into her beloved Excel spreadsheets, that's hot. She enjoys museums, microbrews, creating, volunteering, cheese, pizza, and her 2 cats who hate each other, Kati Driscoll.
Sup? I am Kati Driscoll. I'm the social media specialist for AAA Mid-Atlantic, which is right on the riverfront. Sup, coworkers? And I'm here to talk about developing, defining, and improving your online relationships. So I was going to bring out those Excel spreadsheets, and I was like, too nerdy. But then I thought, but nerd's who I am. So we're going to talk about Star Trek. I really think that Spock is an excellent model for your successful social media program, so I'm going to teach you to think like Spock. So step number 1, you need to explore new civilizations. When you're thinking about your social media program, don't be like, oh my God, Twitter, Facebook. Because guess what? There's more to the social web than just those platforms. Yes, they're popular. Yes, people like them. But blogs and forums and communities can also be where your audience lives. And you need to consider whether or not that's really the best place for you and your voice. Now, there are some really awesome tools out there that can help you find these places. Scout Labs, Looksee, Google Analytics. There's, a plethora of programs, but when you're searching for them, don't be like, oh, what about me? You need to look about conversations that are interesting to your audience. An example of why you should look beyond Twitter and Facebook, AAA gets 3,500 mentions a week on forums and on blogs alone, so I really don't recommend ignoring these people. And you know what? Sometimes it can be really difficult to explore the civilizations that are most familiar to us. A lot of times when we think about the web, we think social media is conversational and websites are informational, but these two are going to become integrated as technology progresses, and so it's really important that you explore your website for opportunities to make your content more interactive. So number 2, be logical. Logic is Spock's defining attribute. He's a chief science officer and a Vulcan. And half Vulcan, and he must apply logic in all assessments. So if we're going to talk about logic, then we need to talk about data. We need to talk about data. Understand what your data is telling you. A lot of these platforms give you numbers. That doesn't always mean they're the most important figures. So you really have to say, what do these numbers mean? Think outside the size and look for what they're trying to tell you. Twitter is my #1 example of a little bit misleading platform. I don't see, 556,000 followers that are really engaged. I see that many people totally click that follow button. When we talk about web traffic, we don't just say, this many people came here. We talk about who are these people? What did they do here? How long were they on the site? So you got to see past the numbers and get to know that audience of yours. A really great way to do this is through Twitter lists. This can be a really manual process trying to figure out who are all these people and what do they want from me. It's going to take a while, but you know what? It's worth it, because when you understand your audience, you can create content that's more beneficial for them. And if you want to talk to more people of a different type, then you can create content for the people that aren't listening to you right now, because they will. They'll find you. Facebook. So when you have a Facebook fan page, they have that whole insights platform that's actually not half bad. You really want to be looking at your feedback, your engagement rates, and your page growth over month. It's 5 minutes, it's tough. External communities. If you're looking at those other blogs and platforms, you want to look at the number of referrals you're getting from the sites, the number of mentions, and the positive or negative sentiment. Don't use automated sentiment analysis, because the internet's like rife with sarcasm and it totally does not compute. So, if you're lucky enough to have your own internal company community like I do, thank you, you want to take the time to kind of look at your trackbacks, your visits, views, time on site, interactions, the frequency, and the sentiment there, and make sure your company is meeting or beating the 99-1 rule. Finally, if you are super, super awesome and you are like so totally all integrated in it, then you want to keep your eyes on the click-through rate. Are people interested in what you're saying? Your conversions, do they like it so much they need it? And your bounce rates, is it relevant at the time you're showing it to them? So number 3, embrace your human side, people. Social media does have a human face, and we talk about it all the time, but I still feel like it gets a little bit of the kick to the ground. So you know what? The 2 most important human elements are going to be you and your audience. Keep that in mind. So let's talk about you and human fallibility. Whether you're new to social or you're like totally elite like the street like me, you're going to make some mistakes. So I think really the most important to think is, what kind of language did you make? What audience did you make it in front of? When did you say it? Like, what was going on, and how do you respond to that? Of course, number 1 most important element is your responsibility to your fellow man. Yes, companies do exist to fill every single gap on Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, but your job is to fulfill those as ethically as possible without exploiting these people. So let's recap. We're going to explore new civilizations. There's a whole web out there. I hear it's full of porn. You're going to be logical. You're going to separate input from information, and you're going to embrace that human side. Speak in a human voice, not like a brand automaton. So finally, I want you to be a chief science officer and